Shot rally, she'll thrive on those.
Whoops, oh, now this could be trouble. It's the right ankle, and this looks bad.
Wow. Oh, she has really hurt herself.
She's in a lot of pain. Oh, this is so, so sad. What an awful moment.
Well, clearly she knows she's really hurt herself, done a lot of damage, or she would not be reacting like this.
Lina amongst the first over. Concern for her fellow player. Not much you can say at a moment like this, except that you just hope that the injury is not as bad as it first looks.
Well, it's not looking promising. Just the look on her face. She looked like she just got shocked immediately by the pain of it.
And quite often they say, with serious injuries, and I know we're talking about an ankle here, but people will tell you who played sport at the top level, if you really hurt your ankle, your knee severely, the rush of pain subsides after a little while, and that in some ways is not a good sign. That she felt that pain instantaneously, and now it appears as though it might have subsided a little bit. We can only hope. It's not really a matter of whether she's going to continue now, because that would seem extremely unlikely, if not out of the question. But we're talking about the early stages of a brand new year. Let's watch it in replay. This might not be good to watch. Groan goes up from the crowd as the replay goes on the big screen. And it was just such an awful thing to see Lina directing the medical staff to her straight away. Another look. You may not like to look at this. And it takes me back, Karen, to a match I think that you and I called. It was the very first match on Hisense Arena.
I remember.
And from memory, I think it was a young lady called Bree Ripner from the United States who did something similar. Was it against Monica Seles? I think it may have been.
Well, she didn't walk off the court.
No.
And this is a good sign that she's actually walking weight-bearing on that ankle. Hopefully, it may not be as bad as it first seemed.
Well, with a rolled ankle, a lot of what happens early is shock, because you expect when you feel that ankle go underneath you that something bad has happened. Quite often that is the case, but it's not always the case. So by the look of it, they are going to assess it and then have a further injury timeout if needed.
Well, she'll take the advice of the staff here as to
by the look of it, she's asking questions which revolve around continuing.
see all the emotions, thoughts going through her mind.
The other thing that she has to keep in mind, and it is encouraging that she's able to put weight on it, but that's a vastly different thing, walking slowly to running around the tennis court, and she is going to be extremely wary about twisting and turning when she gets out there. Li Na, we just saw a shot of the French Open champion, and she's got to stay focused. Looks like the magic spray is going to come out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Medina-Garrigues is receiving a medical timeout. Well, I must say, after that initial reaction from Annabelle, I'm stunned that she's actually getting some treatment here and contemplating continuing. It must not be as bad as she first thought.
Seems like there's a little bit of a bruise coming up there. It may be something that she already had, but when you badly damage an ankle straight away, it blows up, it bruises. The discoloration would be quite evident after this length of time.
I don't know if she's convinced that this is going to be all right.
Well, there's probably some sense of relief about her at the moment, Karen, and maybe that just makes her, perhaps lulls her into a false sense of security a little bit, because she was clearly gutted in the first 20 seconds or so. And that was evident for everyone to see.
Well, it was an emotional reaction, and I mean, this sort of thing, you immediately say, hang on, is this a career-ending injury, or what is it? Does it mean I'm out for not only just this tournament, but the entire year? She's 29 years of age, and all of that would be just flashing through her mind. About all the hard work she's done preparing for this first Grand Slam of the year.
Well, she's laughing now.
A few tears there as well, I think.
She doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. I think there was a bit of laughter because it was coming from both sides. Well, the one thing we can say is we don't know how much longer the match will continue. She's going to try and get out there. Arantxa looking on now with a smile on her face. And she wasn't smiling a moment ago. Gonzalo Lopez is Annabelle Medina-Garrigues' coach, and the concern was written all over their faces. But the one thing that we can say is that it's better than it first looked, and everyone's pleased about that.
Oh, it was horrifying seeing her go down like that, and just the scream and then calling out to her coach. Just horrible to see. There's Li Na's husband, who we're talking about there, right of screen. He'll be thinking that his wife will go through here. Even if she does keep going, I think it'll be very difficult for her to move on the court.
And as hard as it may seem, Li Na has one thought in her mind and one thought in her mind only, and that is to make her cover as much territory as she possibly can. Once you walk onto the court, you are deemed to be fit, and there can't be any sympathy, any mercy until such time as the match is called and you can't progress any further, and then is the time for sympathy for your fellow player. Well, this is quite remarkable after what we saw when the incident happened. We didn't think we'd see Annabelle out there again. She's going to try it, see how it goes. Well, she won't push off hard to try for those. She may not have made it anyway, even if she had been 100% fit, because it was such a precise shot from Li Na.
Good work from Lina, just keeping her concentration to come out and just play a consistent point there.
Oh.
Fabulous stretch on the volley from Lina.
She did move towards the ball and had to pivot on the right foot there, and she was very gentle about the way she landed.
Didn't pull up though.
No.
One thing's for sure, if anything's in the strike zone of Medina Garrigues, she'll really go after it. She'll take more risks.
Now that's a clever shot from Lina, and we might be seeing a bit more of that as well. Lee holds her serve, consolidates the break, and leads 3-love. Medical professionals will just monitor the situation.
The experience of Lina really telling in that game, because often you'll see players come out after something like that happens, and the uninjured player will actually make mistakes and miss the points just by being, I think, surprised that their opponent is out there and still moving as well as they are. But Lina really focusing on the task at hand and playing a great game there. Perfect. Coach saying he doesn't know how her ankle feels.
You're the one who's got to make the decision.
Time.
She's torn because while she can still move, she wants to be out there.
Annabelle Medina Garrigues looks up at her support box, and they look at her and say, well, you're the only one who knows what you're feeling at present. Trying to give them some indicator, but it's mainly a shrug of the shoulders. Going to hope for the best. Certainly there were some signs of movement in that previous game, but not a lot. Lina played it smart. Oh. When she was at the height of her powers last year on the way to the final, she played that shot so well. And again there, she's just tentative of pushing off to the right side.
And again, Lina playing the perfect point. I think it might be all over.
I think so. She's tried, but unfortunately to no avail, and the tears are flowing for the second time. What a shame. Sympathetic applause from the crowd.